and I will do the send again and undo the sending. So right here, I'm just going to say, I hope you are well. Regards, Ahmed. Okay. Now, when we send an email, usually we do not format it, but we have a full formatting option here. Just like Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Sheet, Microsoft Doc, all of those options are available to you here. So you can really format it the way that you like. The size option, text size options, email gives you only 4. You can have it very small, normal, large, or huge, depending on how and what would you like to do. You can change it. Font, also limited number of fonts that are available to you. You can make something bold, italic, underline, and you can change the text color here. Right next to your formatting option, you have attach a file. You can attach any file that you like. If it is above 25 megabytes, it will send your file using Google Drive. So what it will do is it will upload your file to Google Drive, and then it will send it from there. Okay. Insert a link. So let's say if I say, please visit Haynes website. I'll click here, and I can put a link. And you can actually test that link just to make sure you are on the right website. I tested that link. I know this link is working, so I'm going to hit OK. It's working. You can also add emojis. I usually do not recommend, again, this is not about the procedures, so I'm going to show it to you. I personally don't put emojis in my professional email, but again, this is not about how you send an email. This is about technical information, so I'm just going to put a couple of emojis here. You have a lot of emojis. I use it for my personal business. I use it sending an email to my friends and family. I use all these emojis as necessary. So emojis are available for you. Somebody sent the text. Okay. Now, right next to emojis is your insert files using Google Drive. So now in the morning, we worked on Google Docs and stuff. So when you create a document, you can actually attach it using this, using your email. So I'm going to click on Documents in Google Drive. Once it opens up, this is what I was working on in the morning in the workshop. And I said, okay, this is my first presentation, and I want to email someone this presentation. So I just click on it and hit insert, and you see what happened is added that as an attachment, or the link to that presentation that is available on the Google Drive. I can do that with any document. I can do it with Google Sheets. Okay. Right next to it is insert photo. You can. This is the best part. Again, you can insert photos that are available to you that are uploaded to your Google Drive. You can bring it from an album that you have created on photos.google.com. You can upload a photo. So I can upload a photo right here, and it will insert. Okay. And I can change the size as I like. Also, you can use a web URL. So if there is an image that you have found online and you want to put a link there to that image, it can also do that for you. Right next to it is turn confidential mode on and off. This is a very good feature. What it does is once you turn it on, it expires that email, and also depending on how you like, it will not allow people to download your email at some point. So expires in a week, you can change it in 1 day. Expires in 5 years, 5 months, however you like. You can also set up a passcode. All passcode will be generated by Google and send it. So what will happen is it will require the person to put a passcode in. So once the email is sent to Mohammed, and they will require to give a phone number, and Google will send them SMS them a passcode. They will have to insert that passcode to access this email. So this confidential mode is very beneficial, but it can be very secure, so that you don't send an email to a wrong person and wrong person gets it. Also, you can use it without an SMS, and I like to use it without an SMS because I sent somebody a confidential email and I expired in a day or two, and I do not go through. They do not have to go through this whole SMS passcode. And once I do this, you will see under the email there will be a message that is confidential and it will expire on this date. Now, currently I do not have any signatures here. By default, we'll work on the signatures, how to create signatures and multiple signatures, so you can choose whichever signatures you want at some point. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but you can actually use Google to ask, send money or request money. So right now I'm saying, Mohammed, give me $10, okay? Or send money to Mohammed, or I can request money from Mohammed that you owe me $10, please send it to me, okay? I can send him money directly. So I can add a debit card here and money will be sent out to Mohammed's Gmail account. Right next to it is whenever you see in Gmail or in Google, these 3 dots, always remember there are more options for you. So when you look at it, default to full screen. So by default, when I click on compose email, it opens up on the bottom right hand side, but I can make that by default to be a full screen like this. Okay, but personally I like having it on the bottom because I can then open up another compose message and it will open like this. Now we'll go to label and later. Request read recipient receipt. So what happens is when you click on it, now when a user will read this email, you will get an email back. But before it sends you back, it actually asks the user that would they like to be send the receipt at this time or later, and user picks whenever. So, but you will get an information that the user has read your email. You can send an email as a plain text. That usually I do not do that. Something that I'm getting used to of doing is checking spelling. I check spelling whenever I send an email, only because I want to make sure that something was not written incorrectly, and this helps a lot. Okay, so I'm going to send this email and I'm going to undo it very quickly. So when I'm going to hit send, there will be a little box here that will give me an option to undo send. And keep an eye on the bottom left-hand side. I'm going to hit send, and it is saying that I'm sharing something with Mohammed. I would like to share with them. I'm going to hit send, and you see this button right here. I'm going to hit undo. Now remember, this undo button stays there for very few seconds. So if you forget for a very long time, it's not going to come back. Let me show you. So I'm going to hit send, and I'm going to forget about it. I'm sending this message, and suddenly this message, undo, will go away from here. See that? And only view messages left. This means that message has been sent. You cannot undo it anymore. All right. So this was compose. I think it's a very detailed composing here. All of you should be able to compose a very good email, schedule an email. We'll be able to undo an email and attach anything that you like to it. Now, the starred email right here, or starred email, I can start anything right here. And when I do that, they will appear right here in this box under this label. Okay, so I can put a star on anything that I like, that I want to be starred, and I'm going to keep here. Okay. Snooze. So you can snooze an email. So let's say if I open up an email like this one right? And I can put it in here. I would like to snooze this email for a little bit. When do I want to see this email? Later today. Okay, so it goes away from my mailbox, but if I want, I can look at it in my snoozed. Okay, this is a very good feature, and it has helped me a lot to clean up my box and also look at something a little bit later when I do not have to look at it at 8 o'clock in the morning. Sent email, sometimes you want to keep track of what you're sending, so it is under sent. Also, draft stays right here. So if you have something in draft, it stays right here. Now, under draft, you have important emails that you mark important. They go on right here. Chat. So now, some feature that I really like about Google is you can actually chat with the people that you have that are using, especially a Kane. So let's say if I start a chat right here, let's see who I'm going to pick on. Adriana. Okay, so I'm gonna click this, and I'm gonna see that this person does not use chat at this time. So I'm gonna send an invitation to this person, and they're gonna get an invitation. Now, you'll see once we start doing the chat, all the chat will appear right here. So it's another way of communication that we can keep track of. So it's a very good way if you are especially in remote education settings. You can use this tool to help your students and keep track of the conversation that you had with them. Next one is schedule. So if you had scheduled an email, this will stay right here. All emails. So any email, sent email, all of those emails will come right under this tab or under this label. Spam email will go under spam, trash. Now, you can delete something, but what will happen, it will end up in your trash. So you want to make sure that you clear up your trash too, okay? We'll work on labels in a second, but let's go back to our inbox. Now, this email has been updated over the few years, and we would like to see the settings of this email, and we would like to set up this email the way that we would like. By default, this email has been set up as a default. So I clicked on this setting icon, and now I have, how do I want to see my email? I can set up my emails right here. So I can set up comfortable. You see how by default, it gives me an option of having the email on the bottom. I can see if there's an attachment. If I go to comfortable mode, then it does not show me that there's an email with them or what kind of attachment is there. Is it a PDF or is it a Word document or Google Doc? But what it does, it puts a little icon right next to it right here. You see how this pin is right here? So it tells me that there is an attachment, but it doesn't tell me what it is. I can do compact, where it really shrinks everything down. It just brings the size of the text down, and there is no padding around the message that is there. I like default, very clean, very clear. Now, inbox type. Before we go there, theme. We can choose a different theme. So you can choose. I don't like themes for many reasons. I like very clean Gmail look, default look, but you can choose as you like. Okay. This is the highest contrast one. This is pretty clean too, so I'll go with this. I'll choose this theme. Okay. Now, inbox type. Now, there are so many emails we get in a day, right? So we would like to set up our email in a way that they are best used for us. Okay. Now, what we can do is Google allows us to customize the way that we want. Now, you can use the default one and customize the default one, or use the template that are provided to you by Google. So now I'll just check these one first. Important one first. So what will happen is anything that is marked important by Google, that means anybody who you have marked important as sending an email, if you've created a label that is important, that will come on top. I personally do not like this. unread first. This is what I like. What happens is all of your unread emails stays on top and all of your read emails stays on the bottom. The benefit of doing this, and I have set up all of my Google accounts like this, is I can snooze an email, the emails that I do not want to see today morning or by tomorrow. So they disappear from my unread email so that my email stays pretty cool, like it's pretty clean. Okay. Other part that you can do is, this is how I have set it up. The starred one goes first. So anything that you have starred will go up on top. Rest will stay on the bottom. A priority inbox. So now here you have to prioritize the way that you like. So I'm clicking on priority. Sorry, let's go back here. So priority inbox. The priority inbox has to be set up. What do I mean by that? If you see important and needed, unread goes up on top, then start goes here, everything else is on the bottom. I can actually click on this customize and I can say, okay, how do I want it? You see how my option of priority inbox is given? So important and unread, I want on top, I want only unread. Then I want, I would like my start email, but I want only 5 emails there. Then I would like to have important email. Then I want my everything else there. Okay. Again, this is all up to you how you want to set it up and how you would like your box to look like. In this case, I'm going to save it, and you will see my inbox is going to look a little bit different. Unread email, start email, and there is nothing important that is unread. Okay. So this is unread email. This is start email, and this is important and unread, something that was marked important. And how do I mark it? Something that was, so you see right here, I can label it. We'll talk about the labels in a second. So anything that was important and unread will go right here. Now, moving forward to other options here, reading pan. Now, you can add a reading pan the way that usually you see it in Outlook or Mac email has it. So I click here. So what will happen, you will see is once I click on an email, the reading pan will come up. Okay. So, and as I'm reading it, these emails are becoming unread. So some people like a reading pan, some people don't, but you can choose how you want it. You can put it under, the reading pan could come under. See right here. Personally, if I will go with split, I do not like to read email like this because then I forget to respond to it. So if you go with reading pan, again, up to your choice, but write is something that I would prefer. Okay, now I'm going to click on see all settings. Now, here you can customize your mailbox the way that you like. Currently, I have set up to have a maximum size of conversation on email is 50. You can move it to 100 or you can move it to 25 to keep it very clean. If you're very organized, then probably 10 emails, you want to put it up on the main page because you know you're very organized. We're going to leave this phone numbers. So undo send. Remember when we were working on undo send, we have set up to 5 seconds. You can change it to 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, that is up to you. I like it 5 seconds because I better know how to make a decision quickly to unsend it. But you can change it as you like. Now, reply default behavior. What would you like? Reply all. Usually, a lot of times what happens is people, an email is being sent to 10 people, and the sender would like you to respond to everyone, but people just click on reply and send it out, and then the message does not work properly. So reply all is, you can set it up to reply all, depending again on how your situation is. Send in archive. So you can actually send an email and then archive it. What happens is when you archive something, it does not show up in your main inbox. It will show up in your archive box. You can still have access to it, but they will be archived for you. Default settings, you can change your default settings. You can change the color of the email, or text color of the email, or formatting of however you want to format it. By default, it's sans serif and the normal size, but you can change it the way that you like. Images, always display external images. Displaying external images is sometimes a good idea, but some people do not like to see the images until they want to. So you can change it to do not display when the images come from somebody else. Dynamic email, display dynamic email content. So what happens is, so let's say if you got an email from Google Drive email, and because those emails are dynamic, so somebody makes a change. So let's say if I put a comment there, what will happen is in that email, as more comments gets added on to that Google document comment, automatically my Gmail, when I look at it, it will show me the most up-to-date comments. And that's a very good feature because it keeps us up to date of what is happening with the document. It does not give us an old document. So this dynamic email is a very good feature. I keep it on, but it is up to you however you want it. Grammar, my grammar is kind of poor, so I keep my grammar suggestions on. My spellings are not great, so I keep my spelling suggestions on. Autocorrect, sometimes I do not like autocorrect, but it's a pretty good feature. Smart Compose, it's a new feature that actually has been added on, and it gives you suggestions of how you're writing. According to what you're writing, it kind of predicts what you're trying to write, and it is, again, it's a very good feature. And as you start writing more and more, it learns of what you write. So it has an artificial intelligence system that learns and actually start learning your writing habits, and try to help you with your writing. Nudges. So let's say if an email came to you 3 days ago and Google thought that there needs to be a reply to it, so it will start putting a little nudges on top of your email saying, this email came back, I might need a response from you. So this is a very good follow-up nudges that are available to you. A good feature that is available to you. Again, the nudges and Smart Reply kind of work together. If Google thinks that you need to respond to something, you need to reply to something, it comes up. Preview pan, mark conversation as read after 3 seconds. So once you preview something, remember when we were talking about the pan? So if I click on it and I leave it there for 3 seconds, in this case 3 seconds, it will mark it unread. Or I can change it 20 seconds. So you want to see that if you want to have the preview pan for 20 seconds. But also it works both ways too. So let's say if I click on inbox right now and click on an email and I look at it for 19 seconds, in this case right now, 20 seconds is my preview pan that will mark the conversation read. If I read it for 19 seconds and I go back to inbox again, it will still keep my email not read because I did not read it for a very long time. It's a good feature, especially when you are looking at an email in your phone or in your computer while you're having another meeting online. So it has saved me many times. Now, desktop notification, you will see once in a while I will start getting notifications on the top right-hand side because my mail notifications are on. So you can turn your mail notification on your desktop on and off. So a lot of people like Outlook because of this feature that it kind of pops up a message on top of right-hand side. The stars, drag the stars between the lists. So now these are the stars that are not used. So the stars will rotate in the order shown below when you click successfully to learn the name of the stars for search, however, your mouse hover over the image. So these are just stars that you're saying, okay, you know what, 4 stars, I can change the order that I like. Okay. Now, keyboard shortcuts. Currently, the keyboard shortcuts are off, but you can turn your keyboard shortcuts on. And when we talk about just Gmail one day, when we present you, we'll talk about more Google shortcuts. Or I can actually just send you this link. And you can learn about your Google shortcuts and what are the shortcuts that are available to you. I'm just going to paste it in your chat box. Now, button labels, I have icons. You can use text only, but I like icons because it kind of makes me feel happy. My picture, you can change picture here. So you see on the top left-hand side, there's a picture right here. There's a cane seal. You can change it to your own picture. I really like that when people put their own picture, because when you're talking to them, you see how, sorry, Adriana, I'm picking on you again. Adriana's email has only A, so it takes the first letter of her first name. If it is, if she had put her picture there, then you will see her picture rather than A there. This person hasn't created signatures, so this Learning Commons account does not have any signatures yet. I can create a signature right here. And I'm going to say general. And here, I'm going to create thank you, Nancy. Okay, so Nancy Thompson Learning Commons.kane.edu, and I know it's a link. So I'm going to make sure that it turns out it looks like a link. And also I want to make sure that Nancy Thompson Learning Commons is bold. Okay. I can also create multiple signatures, right? So I'm going to say PDD. Okay. Now here I'm going to say thank you for attending NPLC Learning Commons.kane.edu. And I'll show you how, and I think we talked about it just a little bit when we were composing an email. Okay, I'm gonna do this here, and it is saying for new emails, signature defaults. For new emails, I want to send a general. On replies, I want to send a PDD. Okay, you can choose however you like. Okay, so if it's a person that you're meeting for the first time, you can choose one. For a person you're meeting multiple times, you can choose another one. That's up to you. Personal level indicators, no indicators, show indicator displayed as rows. Again, this, let's keep it on no indicators. Again, up to you, however you want to choose it. When an email comes out, we'll go back to the inbox and I'll show you how these letters are appearing there, these markers are appearing there, how many messages are coming to you, how many messages have come to you, or being sent out to your address. So these little icons will appear right there. Show snippets of messages like Google web search, no snippet from show subject body. I'm going to choose the no snippets, but you can depend if you would like to see the message from Google search or any other message. Vacation responder, this is something that a lot of people do not use. I use it regularly. I use it not for vacation purpose. I use it for just giving an auto reply to people. So if you send me an email right now, you'll get a response from me that says, "Oh, thank you for your email. This is Learning Commons, and I will respond to you within this much time. And if you need access to A, B, and C, please go to this website," or whatever. So you can actually write that here and turn it on so people know that you acknowledge their email and you're working on it. Okay, so now I'm going to save this email right here, and we're going to go back to our inbox. Now I'm going to hit compose, and here you see by default this is my this was my respond, right? So I'm going to change the signature right here, and I'm going to say put a PDD one. And when I say PDD one, you see how it changed to thank you for attending, right? So this is a very good feature that you can quickly say this is what you would like as a signature line from you. Okay, I'm going to go back and change this to no split because it makes me crazy. Let's go to all settings again. So we work in general settings for now. Now labels is something that is really cool thing that we're gonna spend some more time on it. Now, when you're looking at email, you see how email is coming from Marian Angulo, and what I want to do is I would like this email to be what you may call go to a label. Okay, so what I can do is I can go to manage label. I can create a new label. If you see, I went to manage label, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to click on create new label. I can create a label that says M. Angulo, hit create. And as I have created this, you see how it says 0 conversation? Means there is no conversation in that box, in that label. So I'm going to go back to inbox, and I'm going to open Marian's email and move to M. Angulo. Now, when I do this, you will see when I go back to my manage label, you'll see M. Angulo has 1 conversation in it. Okay. Now, this was only one way to create a label and push email into that label. But now, we're going to learn another way. So if something is sent through Canva, I would like to create an email, create a label that whenever an email comes from Canva, it automatically goes to a label that I have created. So what in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Canva. So I'm searching Canva. Okay. Now, when I search and hit enter, it will give me all of those emails that came from Canva. I can hit search, select right here, okay, and so select all those emails, and I can say labels, create a new label, right? So this is promotion. It automatically, Google already marked it promotion. So I can create a new label and add Canva to that label. But this is a little, you know, this is not a real filter. This is what it is doing is taking all of those emails that I got, what you may call in past, will convert that into, it will push them into a label called Canva. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say Canva. But remember, all of these emails you see now right here, it says Canva. So they are in the inbox, but they are also in Canva label. Now, though they are moved into the Canva label, but every email that new comes in from Canva will not go there. So in order for me to make sure that happens, I need to click on this little drop-down menu right next to the search box, okay, and says create filter. What kind of filter I want to create? When a message arrives that matches this search, Canva, apply this label. I'm going to choose the label Canva here, okay? And I can archive it, and I can skip the inbox if I like to, but I would not do that, okay? It is also saying, would you like to apply to the 22 matches conversation? I'm going to say yes, but we have already done that, so we don't have to really worry about these. So I'm going to hit create. So now what's going to happen is every time an email comes from Canva, will be automatically moved into the Canva label. And as you see right here, an email came in on June 13th. It is now moved into Canva. Now, any email that will come out today will have only the date on it. And if it comes from Canva, will automatically move into the Canva label. Labels are something very, very beautiful, and you should use them. Okay. Now, one thing that you see, this looks kind of weird to me. I don't like this color. So what I will do is, there you go. So Canva right here. What I want to do is, you see these three dots. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to change the color for the Canva. So I'm going to say mark it green. So every time an email comes from Canva, it will be the color will be changed into green. The label color will be changed to green. For Mangulo, I'm going to change the color to orange. So anytime an email comes from Mangula, I will know. So now you see, when I'm moving around through this email, I can actually see right here, I know the color Canva, and I know this is a Canva email. Now this is beautiful because when you can, depending on if you're using your Keen email for your class purpose, you can actually say an email come from this group of students, turn into move into a email, a label called chemistry 1000 or math 1000. What will happen is, and you will change the color to, let's say, blue. So every time you get an email from any student from of math 1000, they will go into automatically go into what you might call math 1000 label, and you will be able to quickly search through it and say, okay, you know what, math 1000 label, I have created it, I know what color it is, and it is super easy and very easy to manage, and helps you a lot. It has saved me millions of times. All right, that's it for the label, and let's move on to our next settings. Inbox settings, we already looked at it. Accounts. Now, you can add designatees here. When you're sending an email, right now, if you see it sends an email through Learning Commons, I can add another email address, and I'm not going to do that yet, but I can say, okay, you know what, let's say whenever an email sent out from Learning Commons, it acts like it is being sent out from Muhammad Hassan. So I can actually add my email address. What will happen is, when I do this, Muhammad Hassan will get an email, and he will have to approve it that, okay, Learning Commons can do that for me. Check email from another account. So you can actually check email, your Learning Commons email from another email. So I can say, I'm going to check all of these emails using my Hassan MU account. Okay. Also, you can allow people to have access to your email address. What does that mean? That they will be only able to, you're assigning a designating. So let me actually show you. If I go to my email address, if you see right here, I have access to a couple of other email addresses. So this is a delegated email address. So once you add an email address, that person will get an email that you have been delegated. So they will be able to access this email, send an email on behalf of Learning Commons. Okay. And on the bottom, you can choose when they check their email, what needs to happen. So the conversation will be marked as read, and you do want to do that. And also, this is an important part. When they send an email, you do not want them to send an email saying their email is coming from Learning Commons. It should act like email is coming from them, because if you say makes me a delegate, and then I send an email, and I send it out in a wrong way, and you have sent out Learning Commons has, let's say, 5 delegates. You will not be able to track which delegate sent out an email if it was sent out from Learning Commons, and that's the reason we delegate. We don't give passwords to people, we delegate. So you want to make sure who sent it out. Filter and blocks, and as you saw earlier that I had created one filter, you can create multiple filters as you like, depending on how you want to track and create filters. You can filter it according to who your supervisor is. You can put your supervisor's email somewhere else. You can put your Keen email somewhere else. So you can create filters in multiple ways. So you can do a search and then create a filter according to the search. So let's say I get an email from, I'm going to pick on Allison here. Allison, if I get an email from Allison right here, I will create a filter and I will say, I'm going to mark it red every time that it comes in, or I'm going to star it, or I'm going to delete it. I will never send this to spam, okay? Or mark it as important, okay? Or choose a category, okay? So you can actually choose. So let's say my email comes from Provost Tony. Email comes from, let's say, can't even find his email. All right, so let's say email comes from Paul Croft. Okay, I'll mark as forwarded to another email address, or mark it red, skip the inbox, or always mark it as important. So it will be marked as important because he's my boss, right? So there are many things that you can do to create different filters here. Forwarding and POP and IMAP, depending on what kind of email you're using. If you're using an email on your cell phone, you will change your settings depending on what kind of phone you're using or what kind of mobile device are you using. Configuration instructions are given on the bottom, so please make use of that. Add-ons. Now, add-ons are something that are becoming really, really, really famous these days. But I want you to know that these add-ons are not all of them are authorized by Google. People are creating them, and a lot of people are just making them available to people. But you will not read the fine print that will say we'll be checking your email or we'll be going through your email or whatever. So you want to be really, really sure that you're choosing a right add-on. And so I would not want you to get yourself in a trap where this add-ons are creating a huge problem for you. Chat and Meet. You see how this chat was on my side? I can turn it off or on. Show the Meet section in the main menu. So the Meet is the new conversation or hangout that we had. Now it is called Google Meet. So it is just saying, would you like to main menu? And I said, yes, I would like to see it on the main menu. Now, advanced. Now here, this is something that we have. You have seen that I have disabled everything here. Now, let's start from the top. Auto advanced. Show the text conversation instead of your inbox after you delete. Now, what will happen is currently this is deleted. This is disabled. So what will happen is when I go to my inbox and let me actually go back to my inbox. And right now, if I go ahead and I click on this email and I delete this email or I archive this email, it will take me to the inbox. But if I have turned on that advanced notification, if I have turned on this auto advanced, then rather than taking me to the inbox, it will bring up the next next email to me. I personally do not like it because sometimes by mistake, I have deleted or archived emails that I didn't want it to. Turn frequent messages into templates to save time. Templates can be created in insert. Okay, so now if you send a lot of emails, you can create email templates. So that's what do I mean by that? Is let's say if you're going to be sending an email out to your students with their specific assignment or something, you can create an email that will have all of the same wording. It's just their name will change. So you will just change their name and send it out to them. Custom keyboard shortcuts. You can set up custom keyboard shortcut for yourself and send an email out quickly if you would like. But again, in my opinion, if you're not just an email person that you have to send an email at all times, this is not the right place. I don't do it myself. Right side chat, move the chat box to the right side. Currently, the chat is on the left-hand side. I can move it to the right-hand side if I would like. This is up to you. Currently, it is marked disabled. unread message icons, see how many messages, unread messages are in your inbox with quick glance at Kean University email icon at the tab header. So if I enable it, what will happen is when you look up this right here on this tab, you will see how many emails are unread. Currently, this is disabled. If I enable it, my emails will show up right here, okay? Offline mode is not offered here. Our OCIS have disabled it. Themes, we have already talked about what different kind of themes we have, and we were setting up themes right from the main menu once it allows me, right here. So you see how themes were, where did it go? Right here, themes. You can set up a theme from here. All right, this was our brief introduction. Actually, it was pretty detailed, about 1 hour introduction to Gmail. I hope you guys learned from it. We're gonna now move into Keep and Tasks, and then we're gonna end up with Calendar. Do you have any questions for me about Calendar? Are we good? No questions about Google Mail, Gmail? We are all good. Very good. I like that when there is no questions. All right, let's move to Google Keep. Now, what is Keep? Keep is a notepad. Okay. If you look on the right hand side of your Gmail, it says Keep right here. Okay. Keep is, because it's a Google product, you can actually access it right from your 9 boxes right here. You can click right here and open up a full new one, Keep, right? But you can also, and that's why I included this into this email, because you can actually add your notes right here. So let's say while I'm reading my email, I can actually make notes using that email. Okay, now I'm right here, and I said, okay, this is the email from Mohammed Hassan, and what do I want to do with it? Oh, you know what? I'm going to say Mohammed, email Mohammed, okay, whatever I want to say. Okay, and I can pin it if I want to, so this will be pinned on top. Now, email is Keep is a very good tool because it has an app that you can download it on your phone, so you can keep track of all your. Somebody wanted to come in. Okay. Okay, I think I lost him. Okay, so email. So this Keep is a very good tool. You can actually keep. You can actually download this app on your phone. You can have an Android phone or Apple. You can download this, and it will help you a lot to keep track of your notes that are happening. I take notes from my email or all of my meetings right here in my notes, in my Keep. Now, Keep is attached right next to your email, so it is a very good thing that you have it, because all of your notes will come right here. You can also create a checklist. So when I click on the checklist, right, I want you to see what happens. When I took notes right here, it said, okay, email Mohammed. Now, this is great, but what I want to do is I wanted to make sure that it happens according to this email. So when I'm going to click on this new list, look what happens. It puts that link to that email that Mohammed had sent. So this is, now I'm creating a list according to the email that was sent to me. So it's a beautiful tool. Now I'm saying, I have to, or talk to Mohammed about open educational resources. Okay. Then is there tutoring over the summer? Okay, so now I'm creating a list according to this email. So now I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to go to my inbox. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to go to this email, and I said, okay, why did I wanted to talk to Mohammed about open education resources? Or did I write, is there tutoring over the summer? Oh, let me actually click on Mohammed's email and see what was he talking about. Oh, that's what he was talking about. Now, do you see how quickly it links me to that? And I don't see that, or you might see the future here with this, but I use it a lot because I forget what was that email about. So I write my notes and then I attach my email to it. That way it can actually help me understand what was that email about. Okay, again, it logged me out of the meeting. Okay. Sushmita, are you back in? Okay. All right, cool. So now the next part we're going to do is, so I hope you guys learned it. And when you go to actually, so this is on the side of your email. You can download this full app because this one is all linked together. You see all of my notes that I was writing in my email right here. They're also available in my Keep because this is what I have done. I can create reminders here for myself of upcoming reminders. I can create a reminder and I can say, I can take notes here using pen tool here. So if you have a pen, you can, so today at 6, it's going to remind me M, right? I can take notes and I can change the timing here. Custom, I can say tomorrow at 8 a.m. remind me to email, remind me to email. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so now it will remind, so what I'm going to do is it's going to remind me to email Aliyah, but I don't want this, so I'm going to delete this note. Okay, so now I'm going to get a reminder tomorrow morning to email Aliyah. I can change the color here so that I see it really big right here on my phone too. I can create different labels here, so I can actually manage just the way that so when we say label, Google use it as folders, okay? So Canva is a folder, Angular is a folder. So whenever I say a label, Google call labels as folders, okay? Not Google, when you're talking in terms of Gmail, calendars, or Keep, or our tasks, okay? I can create different labels. I can say admin, hit OK, done. So now I can actually move this to an admin label. So now it's an admin work, and I have moved this conversation, this note, to an admin folder. Okay. Now, any questions about notes?
I have a question.
Yes.
How did you? I can't see that panel where it says keep notes. Like, how did you, while you're in your email, how did you get that function up?
So it should be on the top, on the right-hand side. If you're in your email, it might have been hidden like this. If it is hidden like this, then on the bottom right-hand side, you will see that it says Show Site Panel. Once you click on that, then your calendar comes up, Keep comes up, and your tasks come up. And you can add, if you do not see it here, by default, it should be there. But if it is not here, you can actually click on it and then say Keep, and then Keep will come up. Google Keep will come up.
Okay, thank you.
But this should be here by default. This is by default. It is here.
Okay.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, so this is Keep, now the task. Now I'm going to go back to Mohammed's email. Now the task is another lifesaver. Okay. Now all of you know that we love to create tasks and deadlines, and then we sometimes miss those deadlines because we did not had a proper setup or proper way to create those or manage those. So this task saves us. Now I'm going to click on Get Started here, add a new task. Now when I add a new task, I can say create a report or an OER report. And I'm going to edit this. So this one will be my creator report. So you see how it is a quick one. I can leave it like this, but I want to put more details on it. So I'm going to click on this edit, and I'm going to say create an OER report and submit to Provost. Now, here, again, different labels here. So currently there's no label. There's only one label, my task. Add date and time. When do I want to do it by? I want to do it by June 30th. You can set up actually a time by 10:30. And what are the different tasks that I want to do, right? So I want to have a subtask of email the task force. Get the draft approved by June 20th. Okay, so now, and then I'm going to say final report by June 25th. Now, each of these tasks can have a subtask. Okay, all of these tasks, you see this one had these subtasks. Then I can go in here and I can say, what are the subtasks of the draft that is to create this draft? Okay. Now, whenever I get done, I click this done, this done. You see how this is going away? Done, this done, and then I got this done. Okay, very good. I did it all. I'm done, right? So it is very good that you get it done and you mark it done. But also what can happen is you can, well, right here, you can look at your completed tasks. So these are the tasks that I got it done, and I don't delete any tasks that I get it done. So I keep it here. There are many reasons that I like to keep the tasks there because of the fact that when I'm writing a report at the end of the year, I can see what did I do over the last few months. And I can then go and actually say, okay, you know what? I created a report by this date. I submitted this report on this date. So this is a very good thing to do. Also, what it does is when you you create this document, so I'll say email Mohammed. And when do I want to do it by? I want to do it by today. I want to do it by 8 a.m. Okay. Now, though it was in the morning, you see how this is 8 a.m. today, was it 8 a.m.? So when the time passes, it actually marks it red. I don't know why it didn't do it, but usually it marks it red. So let's say if it was for tomorrow and you look at it tomorrow evening, it will show you that you have crossed the deadline. Now, another reason that I like to keep, or I like to use keep is, task is, when an email comes to me, I can convert this email into a task. So I'm going to say, I'm looking at this email. I'm going to now turn this into a task. You see how I clicked on this button right here, this button, and now it turned into a task. And now I can go ahead and change this email. And I can say email Mohammed, email OER, tutoring, writing, and all of that, whatever you would like to add. Okay, so this is a beautiful tool that actually converts everything, all of your communication, and gives a proper workflow. Providing a proper workflow through your email is an amazing thing that you will really enjoy once you get into it. One more thing I wanted to show you here. No, that's it. Okay. Any other questions about your task, and I'm going to mark them all complete. Oh, you can actually create new lists. So remember, there's a one list that is saying my task. If you are working on a project, so let's say if I'm working on an open educational resource project, I can actually create this list, and so now I can have different projects. So I said this is my task list, this is open education resources, so it actually keeps different projects and the task around those projects in that different list of those projects differently, so you can be very, very well managed, and your items will be very clean. Any questions about this thing? I need to. Okay, Courtney, thank you. Okay. Any questions about tasks? If not, then we'll jump into calendar.
I have a question about Google Keep.
Yes.
How do you, when you set the reminder, do you have to be back in Google Keep to see the reminder, or how does it remind you?
It reminds you through your email.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So I'll get an email reminder at 6 p.m. today, or whenever I set it up, to email Leah. And I can delete it right from here, or I can open it up and Keep. So it is actually telling me today, 6 p.m., I'll get a reminder. You can actually mark it repeated too. And you see right here, turn on Google Keep reminders. You may need to turn your browser notification on. So actually you can have a browser notification too. So your browser will notify you too. Okay. Should we jump into calendar now? Okay, very good. So now we are going into calendar. Now, calendars are very detailed, and I don't know how much time we will have to go over all the calendar objects, but we will do our best to do as much as we can. Again, just like Google Calendar, you have the menu right here. You can collapse the menu and increase the menu. On the right-hand side, as you move forward on the top header, it shows you, when you click on it, it brings you back to today. If you're in days menu, week menu, so currently I'm in days, I can go to week. These two buttons will take you to week by week, month by month. So now I'm in a monthly view, so they'll take you month by month. If I'm in a days view, they take you days by days. So it shows me August 20th, but I want to jump on to today. I click on today and I jump on to today. Right next to it, it's a search button. So I can actually search for an event that was or something that I have set up on my calendar using this search button. Help button support is great if you do not know something, or if you're unfamiliar with something, or something that I missed during our workshop. You can actually click here and get the help from Google. This is a setting menu, just like Google. You have a full setting menu. You can look at trash. You can look at density and color. So right now I'm in a modern look with white text. You can choose a black with black text, classic, responsive to your screen. Currently, I have my responsive to my screen. So if my screen size is bigger, it will increase it accordingly, and that's what I like. And I'm going to click on modern because it kind of keeps it very clean. Now settings, you can set up your language, your region, United States, date format, how do you want it, time format. You can actually display secondary time zone if you would like. The reason that a lot of people do not use it because we are really dealing with only one time zone. But when I went for a training in Arizona, at that time I set it up there a different time zone too because of the fact that I was there, and I wanted to see. Yes, I was on a training, but at some part of the day I had to work in on campus too. So I had to set up a time zone because it was very tough for me to keep saying, okay, what time is it there? What time is it here? So I set up a different time zone there. You can set up a world clock. So a world clock will show up so that you can actually see what is happening in the world. Event settings, default duration. So now when you set up an event, let me actually open up a calendar right here. So when I click on this right here, you see by default, my timing for my event is 1 hour. I can change that settings to 60 minutes to 15 minutes, 20, however you like. But usually every meeting is 16-minute meeting. So it's really, it's a good number, 60 minutes. Speedy minutes, I never tried speedy minutes, so I don't want to talk to you about how speedy minutes really, meetings really work. And when I find a little bit more about it, I will email it to you guys. Now, this is something that it says end 30 minutes meetings 5 minutes early and 10 minutes earlier. Now, what is that happening? What is that to do is, let's say if you set up a 30 minutes meeting, what it will do is it will automatically notify you that the meeting will be ended 5 minutes before. Usually I set up a lot of meetings that are 30 minutes. So let's say if I have a meeting with my staff, I try not to exceed it more than 30 minutes, and I try to finish in 25 minutes. So what it does is it's actually send them a reminder before that, hey, you know what, your meeting will be ended in 30 minutes. Do not worry about it. And now here, show weekends, show decline events. So here you can actually set up your day. So our week starts from Saturday. So set custom view, 4-day view, 7 days. So I'm going to do 7-day view, alternate calendar. No, I would like to start my week on Saturday. So you see how right here, if I go to weekly view, week view, currently my view is starting from Sunday because I haven't saved these settings. So if I go ahead and, oh, actually I don't have to save it either. So if I go ahead and refresh this, you see how it's Saturday, started from now Saturday. So now week is starting from Saturday. If I change it to Saturday to Sunday and I refresh this, you will see now the starting day is Sunday. I'll go back to Saturday because our pay periods start from Saturday and I want to keep it to Saturday. Events from Gmail. So if there's an if you have set up those events or notifications, who can see those automatically events that are coming to your calendar from your Gmail? You can set up an event. Okay. And when you set up an event or when you set it to reminders or anything, they're saying, who do you want those to be seen? Can they be calendar default or they can be only for you? What does that mean? Is sometimes you have shared your calendar with multiple people. So if you have sent a notification from your Gmail to your calendar, then do you want other people to see that or not? So this is basically you're saying, and only me is good, because if that's it, there's a doctor's appointment and you got an email from your doctor and you don't want people to really see that email, that it is coming from your doctor and what is that email about, because it will show the header of that email. So you wouldn't like to keep it only for yourself. This is something that I have really asked all of my staff members to use, is working hours. Is when you enable these working hours and whatever, because we are Learning Commons is open 7 days, and we have shifts that covers different hours. Different people cover different hours shift. So I keep them on because I forget who's working on what hour. So if I'm trying to have a meeting, it actually tells me that, you know, Mohammed, you're trying to set up a meeting with Craig, but Craig does not work on Mondays, or he works from 12 to 8. Whatever that is, it will allow me to set up that calendar like that. And whenever somebody sends me an email or sends you an email, it will tell them that you're not working at this time. Mail location does not really work for us. And enable notifications, and that's all we have for here. Subscribe to a calendar. You can actually subscribe to someone's calendar. So if you want to subscribe to my calendar, you click here, and now you'll subscribe. Now what will happen is Muhammad Hassan will get an email that, okay, somebody it's trying to subscribe to you. And then you will either have, you see right here, Muhammad Hassan, I have probably allowed this person to see what is happening. So you can actually see Muhammad Hassan's calendar right here. Now, create a new calendar. Now you can create multiple calendars. So currently I have only one calendar, Learning Commons calendar, but you can have multiple calendars here. So Learning Commons workshop calendar or other, and you can set up your time zone accordingly. Browse calendar. This is probably you can actually add those calendar to your main calendar, so that this is not managed by Kane. This is managed by Google. So you can actually add those calendars. So let's say if you want to do any of these calendars, you can actually do it. I didn't know they had cricket calendar. Now I like it. I'll probably add it to my calendar. I would like to know when are the games happening, right? So you can actually add those games to your calendar. Import and export. Sometimes you would like to export your calendar, and then it gets so that you can import it to your other application that you have. Because these calendars are very dynamic, and you are using it different places, so I don't see that feature being used a lot. But there are times when you will have to export or import applications or your calendars from other places. Here are the settings for my calendar. You can actually set up your descriptions and all. Also, you can you have already set up your time zone to be Eastern, and this is set up to be your primary. Right here, you have marked it as primary. Make available to public. Can public look at it? Make available to Kane. Now, when I subscribe to the calendar, right? When I search for Muhammad Hassan, the reason that Learning Commons was able to see Muhammad Hassan's calendar is because it was made available to Kane University. People will be able to see, hide, or detail. Now, if you don't want people to see your calendar, you should mark it not available. Also, what happens is when I'm trying to set up a meeting, so I'm going to say set up a meeting with Muhammad. Now, when I add Muhammad here, right, you will see how his calendar is. So you will be able to see, okay, you know what? When do I set up a meeting with Muhammad? Okay, so I cannot set it up today because he's busy. So let me set it up on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Okay, so it kind of helps other people understand what is happening with you. But let's say if you do not want anyone to look at your calendar, then make it unavailable for Kane University too. You can add specific people to your calendar. So Learning Commons calendar, nobody is there other than Learning Commons can see their calendar. But you can say, okay, you know what? I would like to add Muhammad to this calendar, and Muhammad will get the notification. Hey, this person is adding you to the calendar. You can set up permissions. How do you want this person to see your calendar? See all the event details, or you want them to see free or busy, or you want them to make changes to your calendar and make changes and manage sharing. So it all depends on how much you want people to, like one of my person in my department can actually add events for me. They can manage my whole calendar. So this is kind of good for me, but also bad because they are managing it. I do not know when do they add something into my calendar. Event notification, by default, the 10 minutes notification gets added on, means when I come here and I click on more details, you see how it says a notification to be 10 minutes, right? So this is by default. I can say my default notification is going to be 15 minutes. So when I go back here, now I'm going to cancel it. When I go back here and click on more details, oh, no, hold on. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to more details. You see how 15 minutes is now default? So you can set it up 15 minutes or however you want it. Now, access permissions, we have already set it up. So we have already talked about most of the items here. All day notification. So now here is when you add an event for all day. Now I'm going to cancel it here. So you see, I subscribe to Mohammed's calendar. So you see Mohammed, I can see Mohammed's emails and all that. What I'm going to do is I am going to go here and I am subscribed to it, but it's too busy. So I'm going to just click on this. See on the bottom right, left-hand side, I clicked here to see it and I unchecked it so that I don't see it. It's too busy. Okay. And also remember in the task, there was something that I had done in the morning under my tasks that was completed in the morning, right? It shows up right here that this is what emailed Mohammed. There was something that needed to be done in the morning and I did it. If I forgot, if I didn't mark it done, but it was not done, I can mark it incomplete if I want to by just clicking right here. Okay, let's move forward with this. Our settings here. How do you want people to be getting notification? New events, people you add will get a notification when you change it. It will get a notification when you cancel it. They will get an email and all, so you can change it as you like. Now, daily agenda, receive a daily email. So what will happen is if you marked it an email, every day you will get an email saying what is your agenda for the whole day. This is very helpful because you can actually get one email that will have all of your appointments for the day. And this is very, very useful, especially if you're in administration. Even if you're not, I use this calendar extensively even for anything. Like if I want to meet someone, I use calendar because I can use Google Meet or previously Google Hangout. So this is very beautiful thing that that you can have to be emailed to yourself. Integrate calendar. You can actually integrate your calendar into your website or to send it to your students. So let's say if you want students to have access to your calendar, you'll just copy this calendar and send this email to your students. So what they will see is this is what they will see. They'll be able to see how busy you are or how busy you're not. And they will be able to make your appointments accordingly too. Okay, so that's it for the settings of our calendar. Any questions about that? No questions, very good. Okay, so now here we have a couple of other options here. When we come to this site, so we covered the top part here. Every time you see the 9 buttons, always remember that there are more items to talk about. Also, there are keep and task is also available right here. Now, remember, they are all working together to provide you better workflow. So if you have notes here or in your keep, you will see them right here. Now, going on the bottom left-hand side or on the left-hand side, you can create an event by just clicking on the calendar, or you can click on this little icon that says create, and you can now create an event that you like. Now, you can create an event for the whole day if you would like to. Okay, I'm going to click on more options, and I'm going to say this is an all-day event. When is it happening? Is it happening tomorrow? And I'm going to say workshops. And I'm going to add Google Meet conferencing here. Okay, I can add Google Meet conferencing here, and you can see how the conferencing is going to work. But what I also can do is I can add a live stream to it. What will happen is whenever you will start an event, you will also be able to start a live stream. Live stream just means that you will not be able to interact with these people, but they will be able to see what are you doing. On the right-hand side, on the guest side, you can invite different guests. So I'm going to invite Craig, I'm going to invite Linda, I'm going to invite Gabby. Now, once I hit save, and I'm not going to do that, they will all get an email saying this is workshop that has been set up. Now, you can guest permission. In this case, right now, guests cannot modify. But let's say if I tell them that, hey, they can modify the event. Now, they have full control over this event. They can delete this event. They can update this event. They can invite more people, whatever they like. Well, let's say if I say, you know what? No, I don't want to give them modify event, but they will be able to invite others. Okay, so I will check that. They will also be able to see the guest list. Okay, you know what? I don't want them to invite others either, and I don't want them to see who are the guests in this list. So I will uncheck all of them. Once I hit save, it will ask me, do I want to send an invitation to the people in the guest list? If I hit send, all of them will get an email. If I had do not send, they will not get an email, but the calendar will be invited. And again, undo button is here. I'm going to press undo button because I don't want to set up an event for tomorrow at all. Okay. You see how I have set up a desktop notification for my calendar. So I just got a notification that there is something that I have to do at 4 o'clock or 4 to 5 p.m. Now, any questions about this, guys? No, very good. Now, if you see right here, it says meet with. Now, I want to meet with Mohammed Hassan. When I search this, and I also want to see Craig, I want to meet, actually forget Craig, let's meet Aaliyah. Okay, when I do this, now because I'm trying to figure out that I want to meet Aaliyah and Mohammed on the same day at some point, so I want to see, you see, I cannot, Aaliyah is not busy at this time, but Mohammed is. Aaliyah is not busy at this time, but Mohammed is. So I need to figure out a time when Mohammed and Aaliyah are not busy to set up a time. So I found out on Wednesday, this is the best time for me to meet with them. You see how beautifully I can actually understand and find a time among two people that this is the time that they are free and I'm going to set up a meeting for them. This is a very good feature and I use it very often to have meetings with other people. And this has worked for me very well. Now on the bottom, you have different other calendars that I'm subscribed to, different birthdays, reminders. So you see reminders app, Google Classroom, holidays in US, Mohammed Hassan's calendar, and I can subscribe to more calendars as needed. Okay, and this is all for calendar from me. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I know this was a lot of things that I covered in 1.5 hours. Oh, wow, this is good. No questions at all. I'm so happy. I will be emailing everyone. Yes, this has been recorded and I will be emailing everyone. So what Google does is it sends an email with the recording in a few minutes. Once I get it, I will send the recording to all of you. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. You will get an email from me saying thank you, and that you can mark it as your confirmation. You will also get an email, thank you email from me. All right, take care, guys. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mohammed.
You're very welcome.
I need to learn how to use the appointment slots on calendar. What's the best resource for that?
You can use Google, but
Okay.
appointment slots, I can go over it very quickly. I have some time, if that's okay.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, very good. So we will go over appointment slots. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on a day right here. I'm going to click on more options. Actually, I don't even have to click on more options. Let's go back here. And I'm going to say appointments or student appointments. Student.
Could you share your screen? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought I did. My fault. Okay, so you'll click anywhere on the calendar. So let's say you want to do it for Thursday at 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and you want to create appointment slots. And I'm going to click on appointment slots and I'm going to say student appointments. And slots with duration of 30 minutes. You can change the duration that you like. So you can do 30 minutes appointments, 15 minutes appointment. So for this scenario, we'll just keep it only 30 minutes. And I'll click on more options. Now, the reason that I clicked on more options is because I wanted to get to this calendar page. I'm going to click on this calendar page right here, and this is what you will be sharing with your students. Now, what will happen is once I save it, you will see this appears right here on your calendar. And now when I share with the students, you see how this is what students are going to see.
Okay.
So I make an appointment as a student. I'm going to make an appointment. I say test, hit save. And what I will do is I'll send this in a text to you in the message box to you. So I will let you actually make an appointment with me. That way you can actually see what your students will see or whoever you want to make an appointment with. Take a look and see if and make an appointment there.
I'm going to my. I'm going to be on the calendar.
Sorry?
Am I in Google Calendar or my inbox?
No, to your to the text message to the message box that I just on the top right hand side. If you're looking at Meet right here on the top right hand side, there's a message box right here.
Ah.
Click on that message box and click on that chat on that link.
Sorry.
That's okay. Once you're there, then you're going to be on this page.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know where I am. I'm lost.
That's okay. So did you click on that link that I sent you?
You sent the link to where we are now?
Correct. So you see my screen that I'm sharing with you?
Yep.
Right on the top right hand side, click on this chat with everyone.
Ah, got it. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. When you click on it, you will see this link. Click on that link.
Okay.
Now that link will bring you to
I got it.
this page, and you will be able to make an appointment with me.
I just put in thank you.
All right, very good. So now you'll see that this calendar, nobody else will be able to block this. Okay. And also what will happen is I can actually see that Jane did it. And also it will appear on my calendar that there are 2 appointments that I have.
And now we email the link to the Google Calendar to the students'
Correct.
appointments. Okay, okay. All right. This is a valuable resource that I need to use.
And I just deleted that so that everybody knows that I deleted it, and you will, once I delete it, actually, you will get an email that Mohammed deleted this event.
Okay, great.
All right?
Yes,
You-
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Get ready for your next meeting.
All right. See you.
Okay.
Take
Thanks
care.
for
You're very welcome.